In these days in the series, A Different Kind of Good, we've been talking about the kinds of spiritual disciplines that followers of Jesus practice, these private displays of affection. And today we're talking about the spiritual discipline of fasting. And I've asked a child of God and a person of worth who calls Grace Church their spiritual home to share with us a little bit about her experience with the spiritual discipline of fasting. So I want to ask you, first, when you became a follower of Jesus, you didn't start fasting or reading the Bible or praying at the very beginning. It took a while for you to learn about these disciplines. Would you tell us how you began this spiritual discipline of fasting in your life?
Actually, we were missionaries in Russia at the time, and the church there, that was a little house church, and they did fasting as a church corporately. And the first Sunday of every month they would fast, and then they would break their fast with communion and sharing a meal of soup and bread. And so I'm like, this is wonderful. And so I started doing it with them.
So you saw other believers in another country practicing fasting, and then it just became a normal part of your own spiritual disciplines. And what have you found these many years now that this has been a normal part of your walk with Jesus? What have you found God has done in you and through you as you've practiced this discipline of fasting?
Probably the biggest thing has given me more and more of a hunger for Him. Those moments during a fast where I catch glimpses of Him that are more profound than anything I see when I'm not fasting just gets me an eagerness and a readiness to want that more. It seems like quickly after a fast is over, I gradually slip back into the normal everyday stuff, and I miss those moments. And so it gives me an eagerness and a draw and a desire to have those moments.
What would you say to somebody who's sitting in church this morning that is saying, you know, I've never considered fasting as a part of my walk with Jesus? What would be an encouragement you would say to them?
To do it is the best way to experience it, and that's often true with all of the disciplines. But to take, I would say even 2 to 3 days, because I find the first day I'm much more focused on the fact that I'm hungry or the difficulties of it, and so I'm not as in tune to what the Lord might be speaking. So usually by the second and third day, it's much more alive, much more powerful. Put it on a calendar. I've found to have it scheduled in my monthly calendar helps to, and I can move it around a little bit depending on what I might have going on during that time, but to actually have it where I'm going to do it.